Mhm.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our latest episode of Cosmic Heart Circle, where we talk to you about the beautiful energies that are coming in for this next full moon, which will be on July 29th. And the beautiful message will come in from Dear Ange, and we'll go around and introduce ourselves in a moment. And then Maria and I will align the energies with the charts, or the charts will align with the energies. We'll see how it all unfolds. I'm Julie Sherwood, your Best Helps Wellness Coaching, where I do a variety of things, including 13 sign constellational astrology, root cause therapy practitioner, solution focused wellness coach. Yes, Mercury is in retrograde, and a Reiki master. So there you have it. Ms. Maria.
I am Maria Schumacher. I do, among other things, 13 sign constellational astrology with my pal Julie Sherwood. We have a number of fun offerings out there. My solo website is venus-13.com, where you can learn about some of the other things I do. I write a daily astrology blog on YouTube, and I have a lovely patronage that you can join, which is helpful if you want to read them every day.
Patreon. Patreon.
What did I say?
YouTube. Welcome to Mercury retrograde, people.
Right? Good. Good. So yes,
Ah,
Patreon. I do
you can
not have a
see.
YouTube presence yet,
Yeah.
but I do have a Patreon page. Anyway, I write a blog. I have a Patreon. I do some stuff. Venus-13.com. And we are joined by the fabulous Ange.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world at this point in time. Yes, I am Angela, and I have the privilege of bringing through whatever wants to come through for the full moon with the energies to assist you and to help you move forward. I am a voice channeler as well as other modalities. I do hypnotherapy and, yeah, move through lots of things and just help people move through things. So, yeah, so I suppose if everybody is ready, we will see what is ready to come through today.
That would be
And we'll,
wonderful. And I'm just going to remind everybody that Ange has no idea what the astrology looks like, other than we just keep talking about Mercury retrograde. But this is a
yes,
pure channeled energy with no pre-discussion about it. So just want
that
to put
is
that out
correct.
there.
And even when the ladies talk about what is happening in the charts after I have done the channel, I still have no idea what's going on. So I am completely oblivious and, yes, have no idea in regards to astrology. So I think that's what makes it so lovely is that it's yeah, it's such a just something that's coming together. So yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll see what wants to come through.
All right. Hmm.
We welcome you. We welcome you to this space, to this moment for you. This is a time of where you are able to take a moment and look at you. And so, with this, we do not mean that you stand in a mirror and you look at your external. We are encouraging you to look at the internal. What is going on? What is occurring? What are you feeling? This truly is a moment, a time, a space for you to be with you. And we understand that for some, this is not an easy process, as by doing this, it encourages you to stop to pause. And by doing this, it no longer allows you to mask or do things which hold and push down all that is ready for you to see, for you to feel, and for you to be with. And we understand that this can be extremely overwhelming, particularly if it is something that you have not done for a very long time, as it is almost like the jack in the box. It has been pushed down, pushed down, pushed down. And by pausing, you are allowing it to be turned. You are allowing everything that has been pushed down to come forth, and understand that the force of which you have been pushing it down will be the force of which it comes forth. Though that does not mean that it will necessarily need to be an overwhelming experience. Yes, as it comes up, it may be overwhelming for that moment. However, if you allow yourself to sit in that place that feels so uncomfortable, that feels so uncertain, that you have been running from, hiding, and avoiding for so long, it will then become easier to manage, as it will allow you to see the different things of which are asking to be seen now. And often we feel that you go, well, you say these things of wanting to be seen, but what does that actually mean? It means all that is ready for you to see, acknowledge, accept, in order for there to be forward movement. Understanding is a key, as often we do not understand why these things are coming up, where they are coming from. And by pausing, and by looking, and by being with it, you can see. It is not a seeing of the visual, it is a seeing of the feeling, it is a seeing of the knowing, it is a seeing of the patterns, of what is continually coming up and blocking you from moving forward and stopping you from being able to move in a forward direction. And that is what it is being asked of you at this point in time. You are being asked to pause. You are being asked to truly look at what is continually coming up. And that will assist you to move forward, to understand yourself better, as do not underestimate the power of knowing yourself. And as you move through life and you are pushing all these things down through busyness, through avoidance, through I will do with that later, I'm too busy now. I do not have the time. You lose the gift you give to yourself. And we do not mean lose as in you cannot get it back. That is not what we are saying. You are always able to return to you. It just takes some time and some internal vision, seeing, feeling, acknowledging, and not running, hiding, or creating things in order for it to not be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged, to be understood. As you understand it, you understand yourself more. And as you understand yourself more, you then create and make choices from a place that allows you to move in a direction that you wish to go. Because do not underestimate that if you choose and make choices from things that are not from you, you are not living the life of which you choose. You think you are choosing this, but you are not. You are living a life from another. And so this is what we encourage you to do in this moment. Pause. Take note of what is coming up. As this is the beautiful thing, is that these things will continue to keep coming into your awareness, into your vision, into your reality, in order for you to look at them, in order for you to see them, to work through them, and to move forward. As we are here for growth, evolution, you are not here to live in a place that is so sterile that you cannot grow and evolve. And this means that at times things are going to be uncomfortable. Things are going to be uncertain, but life is uncertain. And once you can trust yourself and you know yourself and you are making choices from yourself, you can overcome anything. And this is what we want you to know, that doing these things is not futile. It is not to create more difficulties, more challenges. It is not to create a life that is difficult and unhappy. It is so that you can move through these things and they do not become things that hold you back anymore. You know who you are that little bit more, as this is changing all the time. It is just that at times we avoid, and that creates this gap. And this is what you are being asked to do now, is to, if you wish to see it this way, fill that gap between uncertainty, between not knowing whom you are to make those choices, to being the person that you know you are. That is what is being asked of you at this time. And make no doubt, have no doubt that the energies of the universe will do what they do in order for all of these things to become not something that you will do later, something that will be addressed now. And with that, we wish you the best as we understand that this is not always an easy process, as life does not stop in order for you just to manage this. So, know in yourself, as we know in you, that you are able to do this. We have no qualms, as you should have none, that you are able to do this. And with that, we send you much love. And may you pause. Thank you.
Thank you to you and your guides. Thank you, thank you. Whew. Wow. I think we have some charts to look at that. Yeah, not having looked at them in a while, I already have some thoughts. But
Well, already, yeah. Well, um, thank you again, Ange, as always.
and to your
And
guides.
Thank you so much.
my with my cramped hand from writing as much as I could, as fast as I could. Um,
Apologies.
It's okay.
no. Worth it. Completely worth it. Um, boy, one thing that really struck me because I've been kind of writing about it all week, right? Is this idea that this is a moment for you to just be with yourself and look at yourself, um encouraging you to stop and pause, um and no longer mask or push down, um and yeah, that's again something at least I've been seeing in the chart all week. As now, this is going to be posted a few days after we recorded, right? So
Mhm. Yeah,
we're we're we are recording this several days before the full moon.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's July 20th today, and the moon will be on the 29th.
right. But
U.S.
these energies have already been coming out partly because of that Barrow's basket formation
Mm-hmm.
that has been in the chart, and that is about it at its strongest about right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and and the idea, I know one of the things that we talked about when we did our little roundtable recently with the rest of the gang was the squeeze that you can kind of feel from this basket as all six aspects perfect, right? And then Ange in the message talked about things are going to pop out of you in proportion to the pressure with which they're stamped down.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as you don't want to face something is how much force it is going to come out and be seen. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just quickly off the top of my head. Julie?
What you were saying, that was a beautiful way to synthesize. So I kind of took the bullet points. This is a moment to be with yourself by seeing within.
Yes.
Stopping and pausing are kind of the themes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mask, and pushing things down will result in an external pressure correlative to how much you push down. And there'll be a more eloquent way to say that, I think. And then the other
Mm-hmm.
one I want to add, because I think it goes with Neptune um, going retrograde here, or is in retrograde, I think, the busyness to escape, using busyness excuses to avoid taking that pause. I'm just too busy today, I can't do that. With acknowledgement that the guide said, we know you got life and
Yes.
you still got to do this.
Yes.
So,
Yes. I'm just it just on a personal note, I'm sorry, but it's just hysterical because I was literally today in that quandary of, I have this to-do list a mile long and I have been wanting to get to these things for days and weeks, but in the moment I find that I find that I just want to journal, right? That I just want to let's see here. Um Even now, for example, I am free to choose exactly what I am doing now, which is letting something out that wants out to be written by my hand versus all of the things I have to do and have wanted done for days now, some weeks.
well,
So
and I
that's
think,
literally where I have been today.
and that plays into the astrology because we're in the tail end of the Mercury retrograde. So it's the last push to pause and reflect and do the communicative things that Mercury calls of us as he's in his home stars of Gemini. So it's like, okay, how are you going to use this communicative energy? How are you going to use this mind process energy? Sit back and reflect on it. You're being called to do that before this momentum starts forward again.
Right.
Pause and reflect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it fits. It fits. So shall
Shall
we?
I?
Yeah, I was just going to say, shall we pull up the chart?
Shall I chart?
Shall
Okay,
we?
here we
And
go.
and for those of you where this may be your first time connecting to us, Maria made reference to an astrological phenomenon called Barbeau's basket, and everybody's chattering about it. I don't care if you're 13 sign constellational or tropical or whatever star method you use. The aspects of the planets and the way they talk to each other make this formation. And below this video, I will link the round table that Maria and I and three other of our constellational astrologers did to talk about this phenomenon. So, because it's not going away, it's perfecting right now on the 20th, but it's
Mhm.
going to stay with us for a while because a number of the planets involved are very slow moving little friends. So, anyway, and my artiste in residence here is drawing to show us what that looks like.
He's trying to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But it's these outer, the majority of the energies are from outer planets or slower moving planets that are in this conversation with one another in a way where we're feeling this collectively
Mm-hmm.
in a very profound way, and feeling it considering that Jupiter, which I'm going to add right here, Jupiter, just so people know what they're looking at, is sitting in the stars of Cancer, the feelies. Jupiter's
Mm-hmm.
the great expander. So we're going to feel this. This isn't just it's a feel this. Well, yeah, and look what's right across from that.
So,
Tell my friend, what did you circle?
yeah. Well, you circled Jupiter and Sun,
Yes.
which on the full moon are going to be conjunct in the stars of Cancer. right? And by conjunct, we mean like within 6 arc minutes. I
Yes.
mean, it's Jupiter Cazimi,
Yep.
right? So completely swallowed.
Here, I'll just.
Across from that, in the stars of Capricorn, is Moon and Pluto. So that's that's definitely squeezing emotions forth, right? I feel like that is definitely going deep, turning things up, and bringing it forth, bringing emotions forth into the rational, the visible, the into the body, into Capricorn, right?
Yes, the
Into
physical feels.
that's
Yep.
right, into
Yep.
the physical realm.
And as Angela's guides use for a metaphor, a jack in the box. Boy, if that isn't a jack in the box full moon, push,
Right?
push, 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 and then that crank keeps turning, saying, "You better look, you better look, you better look," and then poof, you know.
Hmm.
So
What I did like was the message of, the pressure with which it's forced out is proportional to the pressure
yes,
with which it's forced down
right,
or avoided. Which means, like Neptune said, the less you avoid it, the easier the time will be, right?
exactly. And that's also, I think, a full moon, an example of a good, the dynamic tension in an opposition, right?
Yeah,
Oppositions have to stay in this equal tension to one another, or they collapse.
yeah.
And
It's also a Pluto thing. It's also
that
very
too.
Plutonian to be
Yes,
like, I'm sorry, but this just has to happen. We
right,
can do this the easy way or the hard way,
right.
but
Right. And the moon is the moon's home stars, for those who may not know, is Cancer. So you've
yeah.
got the expander of Jupiter, the illuminator of the sun, driving all this energy opposite the luminary that is the home ruler of that. So I mean the feels are gonna be there, people.
And a nurturing quality,
Yes.
right? And this is for your own good. That
Mhm.
also I think comes with Capricorn. Capricorn and Saturn, that energy is can be very difficult because it's on the one hand seen as authoritarian,
Mm.
right? But on the other hand, it's also, you know, I am an authority simply because I've lived through these cycles longer than everybody else has.
Right.
I just know what I'm talking about. This really is for your own good. So, and I think that you can tell the difference between somebody who's just trying to throw their weight around and likes the idea of authority without any idea what creates it or
Mhm.
how authority is bestowed versus somebody who has been there, done that, and is really grounded. Capricorn's an earth
Earth
sign.
sign. Yep.
And I think Capricorn can also remind us because so here's the thing. Capricorn is an earth sign, but its sigil is the sea goat, right? Or its mascot. There's nothing earthy about it. What does a sea goat have to do with an earth sign? Well, I don't have to be planted in the earth to be grounded. Grounding
Right.
is a state of being, it's not a location.
And Capricorn invites us to do that because if you take that discipline, take that authority, if you will, it
Mhm.
sets it for the long-term foundation to withstand things. So you allow for
Right.
this pressure to be released. You allow to yourself to take the mask off and look at what the heck it is you're supposed to look at. But you may want to do it a little at a time. You don't have to wait till it comes to the point where the pressure cooker is going to explode. And that's the discipline. So the discipline
Mhm.
may very well be, okay, what can I do today just to let a little pressure off?
Mhm.
You know, and I think and part of what we look at is how to work in flow with these energies, especially when they can be very, very intense. And I think one of the quote remedies to moving this energy is the Mars in Taurus. I mean, you've got that physical action of Mars wanting to be connected to the five senses. So find some way to move your body, take some sort of momentum
Hmm.
involving any one or all of or combination of your five senses.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. And I think from what I've seen lately, a lot of people are saying that they just can't meditate, or grounding for them feels different than it used to,
Mhm.
right? Like just sitting there focusing on connecting with the earth in doing it, but getting up and moving,
Right.
doing doing things that doing things that remind you you're in a body instead of sending out feelers. Just being physically conscious and in your body at the same time
Yep.
is almost the new grounding.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a client the other day that was saying, we were talking about meditation, and she said, I really have a hard time just sitting still and emptying my mind. And I said, well, have you considered the idea that taking a walk in nature without a phone, without the music, without just being out there and walking and moving can
Hmm.
be meditative? Oh,
Right,
I hadn't thought about that. That's an example.
right.
Yeah.
That it, yeah, it really can be.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, whatever makes you feel, whatever makes you feel centered.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing that really struck me in this channeling was the quote, "Do not underestimate the power of knowing yourself."
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Love that. And I mean, how, okay. So can we talk about the Grand Trine
Of course we can.
of South Node, Galactic Center, and is that Chiron? Why, yes, it is. Um, do not underestimate the power of knowing yourself. Um, I think that a full moon is also, hello, baby. There's a deer walking right by. She just, hello. Um, I get deer. They say hello. Um, full moons are also that time, a time of knowing yourself, because the sun and the moon are looking at each other. The outer world is reflecting the inner world, and the inner world is, you know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
knowing yourself in a full moon. And it's also time when a lot of things that we try to repress, yeah, I'm looking at you, werewolves, can't help but come out, right, in the full moon. And it's everything that we try to I know it's a metaphor. Don't worry, I know it's a metaphor. Don't call the people with the tinfoil hats just yet. But I think you get what I mean. It
Mm-hmm.
represents that at I- I- except for the time of the full moon, you can keep that shit under wraps. But during a full moon, you're kind of forced, all of you is forced into the moonlight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and I think the other part of it too was that when you take that time to see within and know yourself,
Hmm.
then the other part of the message from the guides was then you can make the choices from your authenticity rather than what somebody else expects or somebody else demands or hiding amongst the busyness just to avoid making that choice. It's like I'm making it from here rather than what he thinks, she thinks, they think, whatever. Like you
Hmm.
were saying, Maria, you made the choice to want to journal and write rather than, oh God, six people want me to take care of this thing now, type of thing.
Hmm.
And that's a very trite example, but it's when it's big life choices or things that you felt so stuck and you just can't get forward, that going within and see where that pop goes the weasel needs to happen will help move that. So
Hmm.
what do you suppose are some ways that people can do that? Pause and look within.
Um, baths are a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Like simply bathe more. Um, as long as Mercury is in Gemini, breathing, like, oh my gosh, just even that. Yep. Breath, just a little bit of breath work goes a long, long way. Um, Taking a little bit longer shower goes a long, long way. Deciding that you're going to turn your phone off while you have a few bites of dinner, even if it's, you know, just for 5 minutes, I'm going to take some bites of my food without any screen
Mm-hmm.
in front of my face. Um, and
Can I?
yes, and yeah,
Pop in.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that I usually don't pop in everybody, so this
No, this is authenticity at its best.
but as you are both talking, it really is about this presence. So, sometimes people think presence is being intently focused on one thing, whereas I feel in this moment, it's about just being aware of what is happening around you and just being really present in that moment, not having your mind think about 50 things that are going on, like really just being in that moment,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hearing the birds, or if you're walking in nature, hearing the birds or hearing the water that's washing past, hearing your feet crunching on the ground, like being really present with what's happening around you. um, I can't remember how that links back to anything you guys were talking about, but that's just what keeps coming to me is
yeah, yeah,
being present.
Yeah, seeing yourself from within.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that will also then allow it allows the space for anything to come up. And then just being curious about what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And because curiosity can sometimes lead you down a path of where you never thought you would end up, but and it can also help just see what's occurring. And again, when I say see, I'm not talking about visual, I'm
Yeah.
talking about just having some sort of understanding
Yeah.
of how things come together.
That internal set of eyes, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you were talking about with the walking and Maria, some of the different things you described, like the bath or the longer shower. One of the I was in a session yesterday about animal communication, and the facilitator was teaching the group about working with the five senses, and she pulled us to say, if you look at your five senses, which ones do you tend to identify with more? Like, what is your go-to? Is it seeing, hearing, whatever? And which one or two do you not tend to orient toward? So this is a good exercise for that presence. So maybe I tend toward sight and sound, but I don't necessarily tend toward touch. So just feeling the texture of this wrinkled paper on my desk and feeling the texture of my skin or the fabric of my shirt and just spending those moments being curious about stuff that you just don't even connect to. And then that shows you that moment of, as you're saying, Ange, presence. I'm really present right now because I'm noticing.
Mm,
and
mm,
Ange, I love how you reminded us that being present does not mean I'm totally focused on what I'm doing right now. In fact, sometimes being present can mean the opposite, where I was so totally focused on what I was doing, I had no idea that, six deer, a beautiful cougar, and a blue jay just walked through my path, right? That you miss life around you because you're so hyper focused on what you're doing. And it's that kind of presence that I believe your guides were talking about
Mm-hmm.
mm,
throughout this channeling. Be present. We know you've got stuff to do, and we know that you're all managing lives, right? That we're balancing lives, but maintaining that presence as a way to know yourself,
mm,
because noticing Noticing what does draw your attention and hold your attention when you're just being you
Mm-hmm.
is is a big thing. I mean,
Mm,
I don't know if you ladies have done this, but if you find yourself like, I really like I really like this kind of music. Why do I feel drawn to this kind of music? And you'd never know it if you didn't indulge that draw every once in a while. If you didn't indulge that pull to certain types of stories.
mm,
If you didn't notice that you always buy white underwear or that you always buy black dish towels or something like that. It's just like,
mm,
what's going on?
And that goes to what
mm,
Ange was saying about be curious about it, right? Mercury and Gemini, as he's finishing his movement through the last bit of Gemini on the next few weeks, then that curiosity will have time to ripen before he moves into the stars of Cancer, where we then become even more curious about the internal self-protective environment.
mm,
We've learned by our connection to the physical world, let's say, through these five senses and the breathing in the showers and whatever it is that we're using as an instrument of presence, not a distraction to presence, as you were saying, like, hyper focus, but an instrument of being present. Then that Mercury moving into Cancer can go, oh, okay, now I know what it's like to be present. Now I can be more curious about why am I sad
Yes.
about this, or why this
And
is bringing
why,
joy.
yeah, and why you want to people your nurturing environment, or why you want to have certain people near you, why you want to have certain things around you, why you do these certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can really sort of Mercury can get in there and explore itself. It can explore that Cancer environment
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of knowledge, right? Going, it's like, hey, now I know something about me, and I can see that down in my Cancer environment, and then I can understand why I'm bringing that forth, why that needs to be in my foundation,
Mm-hmm.
Capricorn,
Mm-hmm.
right? From which I create my operating system.
Yep. Yep.
mm,
And this also goes into the lunar nodes as well, because I'm going to circle the nodes for those who may not know where they are. North node here, south node here, because it was, again, don't underestimate the power of knowing yourself. That's right here, right? And when
Hmm.
that Mercury joins up with that south node, we'll have done the work, so to speak. We'll have taken the time to pause and to be curious and to understand ourself as the capital S. But the other piece of it was don't mask for the sake of others, because you need to be authentically who you are. This is all part
Yeah,
of that nodal journey, the North Node in Aquarius, being
yeah.
authentic. Yep,
They've got to see it, or you have no hope of finding anybody who appreciates it.
that's right.
So the the astute among you will probably notice that if this full moon is here, where's the next full moon going to be?
It's going to be eclipse time.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep.
next
So
month.
what happens during an eclipse, Julie? Why is that relevant?
Well, the energies become extremely strong, and what happens is you have the energies are hidden, if you will. They're eclipsed. They're behind their ability to be seen more. Mercury retrograde. The words aren't coming. It's it's a time to internally reflect. That's what I'm trying to say, because everything is being eclipsed. The energy is being um, put behind the curtain, if you will. I guess that's another good way to put it. So it gives us that opportunity to sit back and go, "Ooh, what does all this mean?" Okay, I'm not quite sure because the sun's going to be in Leo. Leo is fire energy. The sun's home stars. It wants to express. So there's going to likely be some tension in that because it's like, I want to be seen, but you can't. I want to be seen, but you can't for those moments. The other thing, too, is before we go into that, though, what do we say Uncle Dave is doing with these two here?
You know what? Yes, Dave has been in a square relationship to the nodes for a while
Mhm.
and will continue to be for a good while because he doesn't move that fast. So, I'm not sure. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if he will still be in square to the nodes when we get to our next full moon.
Probably, well,
I
I know
don't
it's
think
hard
so.
to
I think
say.
he's coming out of it. Um,
Yeah, because he's just approaching. But the
right,
element of that is Uranus, as Maria fondly calls him, Uncle Dave, uh,
Uncle Dave.
rules the stars of Aquarius in the modern rulerships.
Hmm.
Traditional it's Saturn, but in the modern rulerships, so there's an emphasis, a challenge point energy, right angles, squares are challenge points. You have to pay attention to them, but there's a challenge point for us to really understand our personal authenticity based on our personal values.
Hmm. In this channel, Ange also talked a lot about these things will keep coming up in order for you to see them, as in see, as in notice, as become aware of them and move forward. Move forward. Move forward.
Momentum.
You repeated move forward a number of times. We're here for growth and evolution and to keep moving forward. And if that ain't Dave in the nodes, I don't know what is, right?
Right.
Very much uh it- um Uranus square the nodes, I think, is really trying to speed up
Hmm.
giddy up everybody. He as Julie says, he often represents a skipped step in evolution in the life path. And by skipped in this case, I think it's we get to opt out of this class, or you get to skip 10th grade, or you know what I mean? We're just moving it along as
Hmm.
fast as we can.
Yeah, anything square to the nose. And you can look at the skipped step in two different perspectives. Again, it's going within and see what resonates with you. But mind you, this is a collective energy, so it's going to talk to your chart differently than my chart, than Maria's, and so forth. But it can be skipped in the sense, yeah, been there, done that, know that, but you're telling me to pay attention, all right? Or for somebody who it was completely skipped, it's a time to really pay attention because there's something you still need to do with it. Maybe your jack in the box is pushed so far down that it's going to really pop. Whereas
Yeah,
maybe for those who have already moved through this lesson, if you will, oh yeah, I remember this. Okay, I know what I need to do with this, you know.
right, right. It's going to be a little better than a toaster, right? Boing. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. So I think to tie it all up, go hide in a cave somewhere. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know, one of the other things
wrong.
that we didn't re-mention when we were talking about different ways to remedy or tools we can use to go within to see with our internal eyes. You mentioned it yourself, Maria, journaling.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful way. It's like going
yeah,
within the body. So, like I said, I use my example of using touch. Like maybe that's not something I identify with as my go-to sense. So then I can just say, okay, what did I notice when I felt this wrinkled piece of paper on my desk? Oh, it reminded me of holding my grandmother's hand. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, you know what I mean? It's like
hmm,
internalizing that sensation and maybe jotting some notes. Oh, okay. Why does it remind me of my grandmother's hands? Do I remember anything in particular that she imparted upon me as a legacy or a particularly fond memory that can put me in that space of authenticity as part of my legacy? You know, there's all
yeah,
different ways you can work with this.
hmm,
Yeah.
and to follow those urges, right? If you're getting nudged to ex express yourself or learn yourself or dive in a way that's different than you ever have, that's important. You know what I mean? I'm a writer. Normally, I usually write things. So the times when I really have got to pick up a paintbrush are notable, right? Because it's not my normal go-to thing. So and follow those, whoever you think you are or have thought yourself to be, you're probably going to want to try different things on
Mm-hmm.
right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah.
And don't worry about it, right? You think, oh, I'm a writer, so why don't I want to write? Because you want to work with clay right now. Don't worry about it. Just get some clay
Yep.
or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. And trying new things. Yeah. And Jupiter is the adventurer, right? It could be physical
Yes.
adventure, mental adventure, taking a few risks. I see the Fool card in tarot. It's kind of like, I'm going to step off a little bit. But in the stars of Cancer, let the internal feels guide you. Ooh, this feels
Yeah.
like something that could be fun. Well, I've never done it before. I've never ever belly danced. Does anybody want to
It'll
see
be
that?
fun.
I don't want to see that. Well, but it sounds like fun. I'm kind of curious. It feels like I could just laugh and have a good time. Okay, there's a little risk involved for some of us, because some of us are not graceful. But by the same token, if I'm feeling a nudge to go play with that, you never know. It might
That's
just
it.
open the door to that forward movement.
Yes. Yes.
Well, shall we take the share off and have some final parting moments?
Sure.
Because you're getting dark over there, and
I am getting dark.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got a good signal for when our time is up. We kind of promised each other we would keep it under a certain time because we would talk forever. No, really, we, we would. So, and is there any parting thought that you would like to impart before we close?
Yes, I had one thing that was just, it's about as you're moving through this process to show yourself compassion and kindness, because often if you have been avoiding something that you know that's there, you can, as it comes up, you can be like, oh, I should have dealt with that a long time ago. Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. There's a lot of shoulds that can come up.
Mhm.
And I would just really invite you and encourage you to look at these things with kindness and compassion to yourself. Yeah,
Mhm.
as you would hold a friend through it. You wouldn't say to your friend, you should have done this or you should have done that. You would hold them in this space and this place of compassion and kindness. So I would encourage and invite you to do that.
Yay! And that moon
Mm,
in Capricorn helps with that. That reminds us that we are our own internal authority, right?
mm,
Instead of I should have done, I shouldn't have done, I should. Well, who puts that upon you? You know.
mm, mm,
Whereas if in yourself you just go, you know what? I was doing the very best I could today. That's all I
mm.
got. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there'll be
Because
stumbles.
we are living, we've still got life going on around us.
Eh,
So, yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly. Well, my friends, we still have been chattering a little bit about a cosmic heart circle within and wanting to bring in maybe 3 people at some point in the future for like a 9 or 10 week series with us. So
Mm.
if that sounds like something that might be of interest to help you see within yourself, let us know.
Know thyself,
Let
because
us know.
do not underestimate the power of knowing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm.
Yes, exactly.
It's going to be a quote.
I think that'll be the title of this one.
I think so. Yes, and that what a great 9-10 week journey to be on, the journey to know thyself. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think we've got a theme here. I
Mm.
think we have a theme. Well, to close it out, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us again for the Cosmic Heart Circle to look at the beautiful energies from the full moon perspective to help you navigate from full moon to full moon in different ways that just help you make that energy just a little smoother, a little softer. Let that kayak paddle down the river without hitting up against the boulders. We hope we can give you some insights in how to do that. Again, I'm Julie Sherwood, Your Best Hopes Wellness Coaching, yourbesthopeswc.com, joined by
Maria Schumacher, Vian at venus-13.com.
and
And Angela, and I am at Three Feathers Wellbeing. So, yeah, thank you for everybody who's joined us today. Well, when you see this,
well, it could be today for them.
could be,
All right, my
absolutely.
friends. Thank you again. Bye.
Bye bye.